up on AgweekTV at the Crary Full Pot event. We'll talk to some of the farming stars of social media.
We'll look at how North Dakota's first dedicated soybean crush plant is expected to change the industry.
And we'll see what a Minnesota group is doing to help make transition smoother for retiring farmers and those wanting to start farming. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. This week we're coming to you from the Crary Full Pot event in Fargo, North Dakota. AgWeek is a partner in the Crary Full Pot event. It's a special evening where attendees can meet and interact with some of their favorite YouTube farm personalities, like the Millennial farmer, the crew from Larson's Farms, Brian Brown from Brian Brown's farming videos, and Tony Fast of Fast Ag Montana. Joining me now is Zach Johnson, the Millennial farmer, and Chet Larson of Larson Farms. Let's start with you, Zach. How did you get into the YouTubing game?
I started just because I wanted to reach people about farming. I was seeing things on Facebook and things just from people in my area and even in my family that just didn't exactly seem to understand what it is that we're doing out on the farm. And a lot of that stuff was negative. So what I wanted to do was take that to the YouTube platform where I could actually show them exactly what I'm doing on the farm and why I'm doing it.
And tell me a little bit about your operation.
So our operation is 6th generation right now. My wife and I live on the farm, potentially raising the 7th generation. Full-time on the farm, it's just my dad and myself. We've got a few hired hands that help us in the spring and fall, but we are all row crop corn and soybeans.
Chet, tell me about your operation.
Yeah, we're also corn and soybeans and just got into a little bit of edible beans, just starting that.
Zach, both you and Chet are from Minnesota, and you both have large followings on YouTube. How is it to see the Minnesota agriculture industry be represented?
It's really cool, you know, and it's awesome to be a part of. It's fun to see how many people are actually using social media now for that reason and how many farmers are on it. You know, it's not just me and Chet, but there's hundreds, it seems like, of farmers that are on social media all over the country, not just in Minnesota, but it's really cool to be a part of.
Chet, for you, what is your favorite part about bringing the camera into the cab along with you for the day?
I enjoy just sharing what farming is like, the struggles, the bad days, the good days, and what it's like to live on a farm. And it ain't just driving tractors. The breakdowns, the wrenching, preparing, day-to-day decisions you have to do, a lot of cleaning. That's my favorite part to show. And just how different it is. Me and Zach are 50 miles apart, and what works on our farm don't work for him just because of the different land type.
Well, your viewers genuinely love what you guys show every day. Thank you for meeting with me today.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Chet Larson and Zach Johnson. After coming off of a record 3 years of profitability on the farm, farmers shouldn't expect 2024 to be a record year as well. While 2024 is still projected to be a good year financially for farmers, input costs, inflation, and rising interest rates could make it a challenge.
Interest rates have kept a lid on buying power. And so as producers have looked at expanding, whether it's buying additional farm ground, they're looking at expanding their cow herd, they've had to make some choices. And so ultimately, all that done with higher interest rates is really force them to potentially either use a little bit more of their cash to buy down the debt, or ultimately think about, are they going to end up buying some of the same things that they wanted to going forward?
Savage also predicts that land prices will continue to rise in 2024. Soybeans are in high demand as a source of green renewable fuel. Several new soy crush plants have come online in the region. And as Jenny Schleck reports, it's changing how soybeans are marketed and handled. And it's good news for growers.
Green Bison Soy Processing took in its first load of soybeans in September 2023. But the idea for the plant had started decades earlier, and North Dakota Agriculture hopes the plant's presence lasts long into the future.
I got to bring the first load in.
Mike Clemens made history at the new plant with his grandson Jack riding along.
Load. I said, Jack, you're going to be delivering soybeans here for the next 50 years. So it's going to be really important because now we just don't have to rely on our local elevators to take our soybeans and ship them off to overseas. Now we have a real opportunity here to add value to it right here in our own backyard.
Archer Daniels Midland owns 75% of the plant with Marathon Oil as a 25% partner. All the oil produced at the Green Bison plant will go to Marathon's refinery in Dickinson, North Dakota, to be processed into renewable diesel. Greg Morris, ADM's president for Ag Services and Oilseeds, says the plant will provide a more consistent, convenient market for farmers to sell their soybeans.
Yeah, this is a unique partnership, and it's really groundbreaking in terms of the ag industry and the petroleum industry coming together in the oilseed processing space.
Growers like the idea of having a dependable market for their crops closer to home.
Like I say, if we can save money driving and then get paid a little extra for bringing it here, it's just good.
Another benefit of a crush plant is that growers can bring in loads all year round. In Spiritwood, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
Still under construction are the North Dakota Soybean Processors plant in Castleton and the High Plains Processing plant in Mitchell, South Dakota. Coming up on AgWeek TV from Crary Full Pod, we'll talk to more farmers making YouTube content for people around the world.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Brimmer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Improve the profitability of your ranch by partnering with Top Herefords. Attend the bull sale February 9th at the ranch in Grace City, North Dakota. When you buy a Top Herefords bull, you're getting top-of-the-line genetics and benefits of marketing your feeder cattle and replacement quality heifers direct. It's a common-sense approach to greater profits on your ranch. View the 2024 catalog at topherefords.com and join us at the bull sale February 9th at 1 p.m.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Welcome back to AgWeek TV. Joining me now is Tony Fast from Fast Ag Montana and Brian Brown of Brian's Farming Videos. We'll start with you, Brian. Tell me about your operation.
Yeah, so we're a 3,500 acre grain farm in south central Ohio. We raise corn, soybeans, and wheat.
Tell me about yours, Tony.
Around 13,000 acres in northeast Montana, and lots of small grains, pulse crops, and a little bit of cattle feeding just for finished cows, just real small.
And you both have incorporated being YouTubers into your operation. Tony, how did that come to be?
Seeing the videos from Zach Johnson and thought, well, he's doing this in corn and beans. It's not what we do. Let's show a different side of ag, and then just kind of started there, and that's where we're at today.
As each generation gets farther away from the farm, do you think it's important to educate your subscribers and audience about what life is really like on the farm and in agriculture?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people have no idea, I don't think the general public really knows the difference between sweet corn and field corn, or what. It's just all the same corn they eat in their at the superstore or supermarket, and that's just not the case. So absolutely.
And what's been your favorite part about being a YouTuber?
I think just getting to interact and build friendships with these guys from all over the United States and, you know, even some in Canada, and just kind of have that camaraderie with them.
I would say my favorite part would probably be, I guess, educating some of the people that are just not quite as involved in agriculture. So I have a lot of people that ask like what we do, and then I think there's also a lot of misinformation, and I kind of feel like if one side is stating misinformation, no one's getting the other side of the story. I mean, I kind of feel like we help maybe bridge that gap a little bit, so I like that part.
Brian, what made you want to come back this year again for Crary's Full Pot event?
Well, last year I had a great time. Like Tony mentioned, I mean, anytime we can get together with some friends we've made through social media. I mean, Tony lives in Montana, the other guys live in Minnesota, and I live in Ohio, so it's not like I'm, hey guys, you want to go get some dinner later? So it's really great to connect with them, and then also meeting fans and getting a chance to, you know, interact with those is always a good time.
Well, it's certainly going to be a great event. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Brian Brown and Tony Fast. Farmers thinking about retiring need more guidance for estate planning. At the same time, beginning and established farmers need more access to land. Farm ownership and land wealth are increasingly concentrated into fewer and older landowners, but there is help available for those looking to farm or transition out of farming. Renewing the Countryside's Farmland Access Hub joins nonprofits, government agencies, local companies, and private citizens to help farmers acquire land. Kathy Ruff of Land for Good says they offer workshops like this Farmland Summit in Minnesota or coaching with farmland access navigators.
The work they're doing is very important, establishing the Farmland Access Hub as a regional, in other words, multi-state initiative to bring the key service providers and advocates together to network around land access and transfer.
Land for Good is based in New England but works nationally on research, policy, advocacy, and innovative models. Despite a late planting season, sugar beet producers are closing out the 2023 year with a record year. According to Luther Marquardt, not only did the Red River Valley see impressive yields, but many areas in the country also had a bountiful crop.
We've had a fantastic year, actually a record year, and because yields across the country have been very good. We've had very good weather for the most part. We've had to, in the harvest, we've had to bump up against heat shutoffs and cold shutoffs, but we got the crop out. We're in great shape. We're high sugar contents. We're going to be pushing a lot of sugar out of the valley, getting to customers all throughout the Midwest.
Marquardt says after a turbulent couple of years in the beet industry, this year was a welcomed change. Ahead on AgweekTV from Crary Full Pod, we wrap up our planting to processing series with a look at where the crop goes after harvest.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop, you're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with pasture rangeland forage or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the Risk Management Specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What will this New Year's weather bring? Here's our AgriWeather outlook.
Over the next couple of weeks, as we finish out the year and head into the new year, temperatures are looking above average again, although maybe not as warm as what we've had recently here with the next 2 weeks. So a warm outlook for us. No connection yet to the frigid air, meaning the Arctic air. I don't see that kind of moving on in as we continue throughout January, about mid to later parts of the month. There's some hints of maybe cooling off a little bit more so than what we've had recently, but the pattern is still just more the same. Generally staying dry and generally just staying near or even above average. So not seeing a whole lot of snow in the forecast for us, or rain, which we had over the Christmas weekend. U.S. Drought Monitor, still a lot of dry areas across the central portion of the U.S. down toward the south. Not updated yet with all the rain that was over the Christmas holiday, so this will likely change over the northern plains and upper Midwest as we continue here with the latest that will likely come out soon with that, because we've had some dry conditions here across parts of the Red River Valley and surrounding area. Now here's kind of this week, that 6 to 10 day outlook in terms of precipitation. We have that connection still with the dry air behind that Christmas system. The dry air moves in behind it. The wet weather still across the lower portion of the lower 48 with some dry weather across the Pacific Northwest. A little closer to home, the western parts of North and South Dakota looking to be kind of equal chances. That's that gray shaded area. So we could see some precipitation or it actually stay dry as well. So kind of equal chances there, where the eastern parts of the Dakotas into Minnesota, Wisconsin looking to generally stay a little bit drier. Temperature wise coming up here this week, guess what? More of the same. Maybe not as warm for some of us as it has been recently, but considering where our average high temperatures are, most days will come close to that or even just a little bit above, depending on where you're at. So the Dakotas again and across Minnesota, Wisconsin looking to be above average most days of this forecast. Of course, we can have some fluctuation depending on what day of the week it is. Now, as we look ahead toward next week, guess what? More of the same. Looks like we have a shot at seeing some more above average temperatures. And the lower 48, there's a big shot that kind of could fluctuate either way. That's that gray shaded area you see here across Denver to Wichita, down to Dallas and Houston, and looks to be a little bit below average down across the desert Southwest. We're up here again. Parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota looking to be above average into next week. Precipitation outlook, we're kind of in that equal chance of seeing that precipitation. Looks like some wet weather down across Vegas area, down across the lower 48 here, the kind of the southern half of the lower 48 that is. And then some drier weather kind of situated just to the east of us, where we'll maybe see some snow showers. But what I've been seeing is just kind of us staying generally a little bit drier, though we are not in that outlook for the dry weather. Now, as we look out just for the month of January, there's only a few spots that are looking to be above average in terms of precipitation. That's across the west and the southeast. Otherwise here, kind of equal chances as we head throughout January to see some snow showers along the way.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with pasture rangeland forage, or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the risk management specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Brimmer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
After harvest is complete in the fields, where does the crop go? I traveled to Carrington, North Dakota and visited with Tyson Rosenau one last time in North Dakota Corn Council's Planting to Processing series to see where his corn goes.
According to Tyson, the majority of his corn ends up at an ethanol plant.
So most of our grain corn, some way or another, will get crushed into ethanol, whether that's direct to the ethanol plants in the state or into a foreign market for ethanol up into Canada. I'd say 90% of our corn, one way or another, makes its way into an ethanol plant.
North Dakota ethanol plants use 160 to 180 million bushels of corn annually, with more than 80% of the corn purchased from North Dakota farmers. 40 to 60% of North Dakota's total annual production is purchased by one of the 5 corn-based ethanol plants in North Dakota. The economic impact of the ethanol industry is huge to the state, contributing nearly $1.7 billion annually to the state's economy. The industry doesn't show any signs of slowing down either, with North Dakota ethanol plants having the capacity to produce 550 million gallons of ethanol per year, which is a 50% increase from production just a decade ago. Tyson also maintains close relationships with other farmers and producers in his community. Pete Van Bedoff appreciates the relationship his family and Tyson's has created over the years.
We raise some silage corn for them, as well as plant their silage on their farm for them.
While the Van Bedoff dairy benefits from local silage, Tyson's soil benefits from the dairy's manure. Besides feeding their herd silage, the Van Bedoffs also use an ethanol byproduct.
So we also feed corn distillers, which comes from the ethanol plant in Spiritwood. So corn that's raised by North Dakota farmers gets made into ethanol, and the byproduct of that process is corn distillers, which we feed to our cows as part of a protein and energy source for our rations.
North Dakota ethanol plants produce nearly 1.5 million tons of livestock feed, including dry distiller grains.
This stop concludes North Dakota Corn Council's Planting to Processing series. Still ahead on AgweekTV from Crary Full Pod, we'll meet a national FFA winner using his skills to improve his family's crops.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Improve the profitability of your ranch by partnering with Top Herefords. Attend the bull sale February 9th at the ranch in Grace City, North Dakota. When you buy a Top Herefords bull, you're getting top-of-the-line genetics and benefits of marketing your feeder cattle and replacement quality heifers direct. It's a common-sense approach to greater profits on your ranch. View the 2024 catalog at topherefords.com and join us at the bull sale February 9th at 1 p.m.
Grain handling and storage projects done efficient, reliable, and hassle-free. With the one-stop shop of advanced grain handling systems. Get better test weights and less crop damage with their continuous mixed-flow grain dryers from Grain Handler and Nico. Get grain bins built to last from West Steel and Sioux Steel. Advanced Grain customizes each project to maximize your farm production. Contact Advanced Grain Handling Systems in Mayville for a free quote and site consultation.
Now we take you a little outside of our normal area to a farm in Michigan, where specialty crops like sugar beets are expanding, and an FFA student is being recognized nationally for his efforts to do that on his family's farm.
Noah Koth of the North Huron FFA chapter in Kindy, Michigan, is the 2023 National FFA Proficiency winner for specialty crop production. He plays a key role in increasing sugar beet and black bean production on his family's crop farm.
I was told that I was the national winner, which was some huge news because, all I do is kind of every day, this is what I've been passionate about, was being on the farm, and to be able to go on and become a national winner was something I never dreamed of as, being a possibility.
It was amazing to see him win. We had kind of told ourselves, well, at least he made it to the Final Four was good, but to see him actually win it, we were all pretty high.
They've always grown sugar beets and black beans on the farm, but Noah has played a key role in expanding them.
Throughout my lifetime, we've gotten this Ropa beet harvester, and we've just been able to become more efficient throughout our farming of these specialty crops. We've been trying to become more efficient in growing these crops to become successful and to be able to grow the operation while making it more efficient at the same time.
This growing season was very successful for the farm's sugar beets.
This year was a very good year for yields because the sugar beets, we got about 38 ton, which is really good. That was right at kind of the border where they thought about having us work in some beets because they almost had too many to process. The sugar content was also pretty good. It was 18% sugar.
Noah is the fourth generation on the farm and plans to come back full-time after finishing his agricultural operations degree this spring.
It's just kind of something I've always loved to do, and if you're doing something you love to do, it doesn't feel like you're ever working a day in your life. So it's, I really look at it as a hobby, but it is a job and you put in numerous hours, but it's something I've always loved to do.
You can read more about the Koth's farm and specialty crops in an upcoming issue of the Sugar Beet Grower magazine and at AgWeek.com. We appreciate you watching this week from the Crary Full Pod event in Fargo, North Dakota. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Happy New Year, everyone.